Hey everybody, this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer, and welcome to a new video. I recently released a short video showing how I made this Five Guys Burgers 3D printed building using the Corvus Games Terrain, Corvus Terrain Games. I apologize, it's really early in the morning. Got a lot of positive feedback on it. Again, it's not super realistic, but from a distance or on the table, it looks great. So in this video, I am going to show you the steps I did to make another one. This one is the Piggly Wiggly Meat Market. It was fun to make. I worked at Piggly Wiggly as a teenager in high school, and so I just decided to use that for this one. So let me get to the tabletop, and I'll narrate and show you how I got to this. Okay, I've got everything primed and colored, or not primed, painted the way I want it. I did this, I don't know if the camera is going to be able to show you this very well, but this isn't the white primer. This is, I painted it like this, well, I painted it white, but this is a tan. It's probably a little hard to see on the thing, but it will sit up here like that. And then we have the next level, which goes like that. And by the way, this is not a perfectly square building. If you did it like this, it won't do. Okay, I've got the sections painted. The roof is over there drying. It's raining outside, and for some reason I thought it would have been. It's still tacky. It hasn't dried yet. So what I'm going to do, before I glue this up, I think it's going to be easier for me to paint the individual parts by hand instead of holding the big building. I learned that in the last one. Don't glue the building together unless you have to. I guess I could glue like this together since the brick is mostly shared, but I'm just going to go ahead and stick with this. Now I'm using my paint pens, and for this particular brick color, I don't want to go with the red like I did on the last building. I think I'm going to go with a darker, let's try a brown. Now what you can do with these paint pens is you can test them on the inside to see what the color looks like. That's actually not bad. I don't mind that. Now I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try it. I'm going to go the brick run horizontal with I guess the cement, between it. I am going to go vertically like this to try and only get the brick part. Let's see if it works. And so far it is working the way I was hoping. That's going to work just fine. It's not going to be perfect. It's not going to look like, real 100% brick, but there is enough difference in the tone that you'll be able to see that it's brick. I don't know if you can see that. There's the original color, and there is that. And the lighter color is coming through between the darker bricks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to time-lapse this so you don't have to watch the whole thing. Hang tight. Okay, what I'm going to do now is hit the windows, and I'm going to do the interior blue first, and then I'll do the exterior stuff. So once again, I'm using the brush tip, and I'm just going to do these one at a time. And you can use the the window is sort of inset, so the brick is raised. You can use that to your advantage by running the tip across, and it'll allow you to stay inside. I guess that's the right word. Stay inside the lines. I like that I can do it quick. And if you make a mistake, it's no big deal because you can always go back and redo the surrounding window material. So there you go. I frame it first and then just color it in. Forgot to do down here. Come at it from this way. And like I said in a previous video, I'm not, the window, well, I didn't say it in the previous window, previous version. I said it at the beginning of the video. I go with the blue windows. I know it doesn't look hyper realistic, but that's not what I'm going for here. Okay, the windows are done. Just the windows, the glass part. Let's see what it looks like. I think it's starting to look nice. This is on the bottom, or the top, like that. It goes like, okay, hold on. What am I doing wrong? That goes like that. All right, there we go. And then this will go like that. I don't have the roof yet top. Man, I really am liking the look of that. Now I've got some signage to replace this that I'll glue on over that. I want to do something to the front here. I'll have to figure out what to do there. Also a sign here. Need to do the window trimming and stuff like that, but we're getting very close to being done. Okay, here it is to this point. I've still got a few things I want to do with it, but it's basically done. I've got to do the signage. Not sure about what to do with the walls. Maybe dirty it up a little bit. Again, not 100% sure. I'm going to do the top again with the sandpaper, but I'm not going to use the black. I may look and see if I've got a different color just so that they don't look all identical. I need to paint the air conditioning units up top, and I think I've got a couple more, an air conditioner here. And then the other thing I forgot is there is an awning that I've got to get here, and I know I have it somewhere. My workshop is a mess. But if I can't find it, I'll print it again because it's very small. It's just like an umbrella awning that comes out off the roof. So next, I'm going to design the sign for it and hunt up the sandpaper, and then also deal with the umbrella. I'm about ready to glue everything together, but before I do, I want to put the sandpaper on the top of the roof. Now, in the previous building, I used black, and it just gives it that look that I don't even know what that stuff is that they put on the ceilings, but it definitely looks better than just nothing. So I have this orange. I had this. It's 120 medium, and the orange I think is going to look pretty good. So what I need to do, this is going to be the tricky part, is I need to take some measurements and then cut it properly. And then I'll have to do some special cuts around the air conditioning unit, which is probably going to be a pain. So the recessed area, you may not be able to tell this, but there's actually an angle here. It's the inner square is smaller, obviously, than the outer, and there's the wall angle. So I'm having to look at this from the top down, and I'll cut it a little extra. I'm seeing 4 3/4, and if it's a little off, I'm not gonna be concerned. Now that's 4 3/4 that way. It's probably dulling my scissors doing that, but that's all right. I have a sharpener for these. These are the scissors that cut the tip of my finger off a couple years ago. Not a big bit, but enough that I had to go get it cauterized. That was not a good day. All right. So definitely too big that way. So it's definitely, okay, so it's this way. So let me just start trimming off a little at a time. And I am doing this by eyeball, so that may bother some of y'all. All right, we got it going on this way, right? This way, definitely about an 1/8 off. Close. Another little sliver. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to measure to cut around this air conditioning unit. It goes in I may need to come just a little bit. It's not going to match up exactly, but I am not going to lose any sleep over it. That's much better. Now, this thing is the tricky one. Not too bad. I've got a little bit there and a little bit there I need to patch, and I can probably cut a little strip to fit that. Since I know the exact length of it is this much, I could fit that down in there, and you wouldn't be able to tell very easily. Yeah, that's what I'll do. All right, so we'll glue that over, and then coming this way, I'll just cut these pieces to length, and I'll glue them down in there to fit beside this piece, and that'll be it. Okay, there you go. Now I apologize, this was not meant to be a really in-depth how-to video. I'm just basically documenting my creation of these modern building structures. These are going to be for the game called XCOM Miniatures Wargame. I think that's the name of it. It's going to be released from Modiphius. I think in July, when I'm shooting this video, they said that July they would release the pre-order. I don't know how long it'll take for the official rulebook to get to me. I'm hoping that once I get the PDF, I can start playing this game immediately, but I am going to need more buildings. So right now I've got these two. My goal is to have maybe 8 or 9, I don't know, maybe more. And I do appreciate those of you who've made comments with other suggestions for buildings. I'm going to go out to Corvus today and pick a new building and see what I can come up with. But again, print out your building, prime it in the base colors you want. Use tape, like I did, to block off areas you want for a different color. Use the paint pens for the bricks, if there's brick. I will put a link in the video description for the paint pens. I've had a lot of people ask me where I got them. Always check my video descriptions. I usually try to put links to the things I use in the videos, but there will be a link in the video. I use the paint pens for the windows, the bricks, things like that, the trim around the windows, sandpaper for the top of the ceiling here. And then I went out to Google Images and downloaded some images of Piggly Wiggly's logo. I got a poster that used to hang on the side of a building. And then lastly, you may or may not remember this, depending on your age, but grocery stores used to put up taped to the windows flyers from the newspaper for that week's specials. So I found a few old Piggly Wigglies. I printed them out in miniature and glued them on the front here just for that extra little bit of authenticity. The buildings aren't going to fool anybody with a photograph. There are errors and mistakes and things like that, but I just wanted something basic enough to get on the table and to make my photos and my videos of my war games look good. I could have used some sci-fi terrain, but the game is sort of a modern day. I think it's more modern. So I wanted some more modern urban type structures. So I've got 2. I'm going to keep making more, and I hope you'll keep joining me as I show you how I do it. All right, everybody, this is Jim, the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me on this video. I'll be back soon with a new one. Until then, everybody, take care.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.